Listen, man, you got to take your life into your own hands. You got to take your dreams into your own hands. So today I want to talk about my list of failures. I want to list out my failures for y'all and get a little bit vulnerable so you understand where I'm coming from. Because in the previous video I talked about needing to fail quickly, and I want y'all to understand why you need to fail quickly. Okay. So when I was in college, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. This was 2014. If I started this YouTube channel around 2014, maybe I'm blown up by now. Maybe I'm not, but more than likely I am. It's 2026. If I started in 2014, within 5 to 10 years, I would have blown up. But regardless, I'm doing it now. So I wanted to do the YouTube channel with one of my friends. We had good chemistry. He was funny. I was funny. We worked well together as a unit. We went to his crib. We shot our very first video. It was hilarious. We posted a snippet on Instagram. People were reacting, we got good engagement for that time. You got to remember, Instagram, this is 2014. All this shit was still kind of new. So I'm excited about the future of our YouTube channel. We're about to be a little buddy comedy duo. Cool. After we shoot our first video, he decides that he doesn't want to do it anymore. Now, this is no fault of his own. He's got his own life to lead. He's got his own dreams, goals, and aspirations. Cool. Once he decided that he didn't want to do it anymore, then I stopped doing it as well. That was my first mistake. When you're chasing a dream, you cannot rely on others. You cannot. I don't give a what you think. If it's your dream. It's not there. It's not our dream. It's yours. So because he stopped, I stopped doing content for 3 years. I graduated college 2017. I decided I want to be a comedian. I want to tell jokes. I don't know what made me do that, but I felt like I had the skill set to do it, and I did it. So I decided to be a comedian from 2017 to like around 2020, 2021, about 4 years. And I was fairly good at it. The very first show I did well. I got the bug. I was traveling around. I'm going to different showcases. I'm winning awards. I'm having a good time with it. I've got a good base of jokes, not because I'm hilarious, but because my life was hilarious. I'm growing up as a Nigerian American immigrant in America. That's going to produce comedy. I don't give a fuck what you say. If you are a foreigner in this country, your life is going to produce good comedy. So while I'm doing my comedy thing, in the beginning of the journey, I would say towards the beginning-ish, middle-ish, I got into a relationship. So I moved out to Los Angeles to pursue my dreams. And then I got into a relationship with somebody who lived in Michigan, which was a mistake. But again, not her fault. This is my fault for including someone else in my vision. So I thought to myself, man, I really love her. I'm going to move back. I'm going to move from Los Angeles back to Michigan, because you know what? I could just do social media jokes. I don't need to be in Los Angeles to meet a producer or meet a comedian, someone to take me under their wing and hope for the best and all this X, Y, and Z nonsense. I can just produce content online, blow up in my hometown, and we can go from there. So after I left LA and I moved back to Michigan to live with her, and we worked together on my comedy career, which at first I thought was a good idea. And it was a good idea because she was very business savvy. She helped me start my own show. She helped me sell my first tickets. She helped me get a venue. There was several things that she helped me do that I wouldn't probably have done on my own. I was thinking there are several different ways to kind of blow up in comedy. Like, you can go to Los Angeles and get discovered, or you can just build your own machine and get discovered that way. Either, whatever, or go to one of these other cities, New York, whatever. So that was my goal. My plan was to go to another city, blow up, and then maybe be in a movie, maybe do a comedy special. That was my plan. Her plan was a little bit more calculated. Okay, you can build your name up here in Michigan. You can create your own show. You can sell your tickets. You can produce your own content. and you can blow up organically on your own and have a natural fan base in X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, all right, cool. She sold me on the vision. It was a good vision. It's worked for others in the past without her knowing anything about the comedy business. She was absolutely correct. Unfortunately, we broke up. So once we broke up, that's when the rift started. When we broke up, the venue that we did our comedy out of, we were also doing fitness classes out of. She was a fitness instructor, and I was a comedian, and we were doing both in the same venue. So her fitness classes would be before my comedy shows, and we were working with the owners of the venue. They were allowing us to use their venue for free as long as they were able to get a percentage of whatever we made. It was a good business deal at the time. The venue was looking for something like that to attract more customers into their venue, and we were looking to build an audience, so it worked perfectly until we broke up. Then it was like, okay, well, one of us can't stay here. This wasn't that type of relationship where one of us could stick around and we could be cool and be friends. It wasn't that sort of relationship. It was very toxic, and I'll take full responsibility for that. I was the toxic one in this situation. If I'm keeping it real. So I was feeling a lot of guilt because of the toxic behavior that I displayed throughout the relationship. So I said, you know what? She's more business savvy. She's now working at the venue as their chief marketer. She's also the floor manager. She's also on the podcast that this venue now has. So she's way more ingrained into the venue than I was, me just being the host of the comedy show. And at this point, the comedy show has gained traction. So it's somewhat popular within the city. They don't really need me to host. They just need a host. So I realized I realized late that I was expendable in this situation. So they let me go. That was the second time? Yeah, the second time. I had allowed someone else to determine my goals and my dreams, or I should say deter. So after that, I went into a spell of depression. I lost everything. I lost friends. I lost family members. Some, I was able to gain the family back because Nigerians, we have a strong foundation with family. But I had lost all my money. I had lost hair. I had lost, I gained 60 pounds. I'm 60 pounds overweight. I'm in a full-blown depression. I got to move back in with my parents. My credit score is trash. I done got a car repossessed. I am a full-blown loser at this point. Full-blown loser. Ready to end it all. You know what I mean? I've never hit this level of rock bottom. I had always had success somewhat in life. In high school, I was all-state basketball, 3.0 GPA. I got a full ride to go to college. I was successful in college. I had a lot of friends. At that point in life, I hadn't failed this monumentally. From losing my girl, the comedy career, all my money, my car, my friends, gaining 60 pounds. I was a loser, and I had never been this big of a loser in my life. So now I'm thinking about ending myself, because I don't know what to do next. There's no way. I'm 27 by this point. Now I'm a grown man living at the crib with my parents. What kind of girl's gonna like me? And I'm overweight, and I'm broke, and I'm yada yada yada. So anyways, once I was able to get out of this rut, this depressed state, it started with exercising. First, getting in shape. It started with getting a job. I needed to get a regular job because I was no longer an entrepreneur. My businesses had failed. And I started there with getting a job and then exercise. And what that did for me was it forced me to get out of that depressed state, because I needed to be around people for this job. And to exercise, I needed to be in a certain mind state to be able to exercise. And when you exercise, you forget about the pain and suffering that you've been through. So built off the foundation of those two things, I was able to bounce back in a way. Once I lost about 50 pounds and I had some money in the bank, I felt a little bit better about myself. I had a little bit of self-respect and self-love. Shout out to my parents for, holding me down through those tough times, and my other family members, my brothers and my sister. And granted, I had made a lot of mistakes. I wasn't the best person while I was trying to be a comedian during the first go around, because I had locked in completely on that, and I had forgotten about the other aspects of life, which were family and friends and things like that. So now I'm in a good place. I was able to build up some money, build up some capital, create some value. Now I live in Arizona now. I live in a great state. I got a great job. I'm in great shape. I could be in better shape, but I'm in better shape, and I'm in better spirits overall. And that's why y'all see me here on YouTube now, because I'm giving it another crack. Whether it's comedy, whether it's content creation, whatever it is, I was meant to, in my opinion, entertain, inform, inspire the masses. And that's what I'm going to do with this YouTube channel. So I hope that y'all can not just support me just because I told you all that sad stuff, but really understand my message and maybe relate to it in some way. And glean, maybe if you didn't laugh, maybe you cried, maybe you felt like some inspiration, maybe you were motivated. But that's the point of this channel, is to entertain, inspire, inform on things that I'm privy to, and be vulnerable as well. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm going to blow. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it's going to happen. And I want y'all to be a part of this journey. I got 112 subscribers right now. I'll have 1 million by the end of this year. I just know it. So, but I appreciate y'all for listening to my spiel. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's keep this ball rolling, because I'm here. I'm telling you, every week I'm here now. So y'all gonna have to deal with that. All right, good night.